By the end of this video, you'll be able to make a perfect short bubble skirt from scratch. Even if you've never made one before, this is the easiest bubble skirt method you find on YouTube, and it gives that full bouncy look without any complicated technique. So I'm going to show you step by step how to cut it, sew, and finish your bubble skirt. So grab your fabric. Let's get into this class. So the first thing you want to measure is the length of your skirts. Okay, now from the length from your the beginning of your fabric, okay, you're going to mark the length of your skirt. Okay, for me I use length 24 because I didn't want it to be short. Then you're going to add 1 inch as your so joining allowance. Okay, so length of your skirt plus 1 inch plus the length you want to use to fold in the lining. Okay, so I use 4 inches. Use either 3 or 4 inches. So 4 plus 4 inches, that is 5 now. Okay, then you are going to add ½ inch to that, and that ½ inch is now going to be for your joining the lining to the main fabric. So everything I've added now is 5½ okay, so the length of your fabric is going to be the length of your skirt plus 5½, but the width of the fabric is going to be your waist circumference times 3. Okay, so once you've cut out your fabric like that, the next will be to cut the lining. And to cut the lining, you come down from the tip of your fabric by 1 inch, and then you would measure out the length of your skirts, the length of skirts you want to use, then fold in what is left. What is left should be like 4½. Okay, then you will now measure from the beginning of the fabric to that place you folded. Then whatever you have there, okay, is now going to be the length of your fabric, of your lining, sorry. Okay, so once you've cut out your lining, the width is going to be the same length, the same width with the main fabric. That is your waist times 3 if you want it to be as full as my own. Okay, if you don't want it to be too full, then you can do your waist times 2. Okay, then at this point you're going to iron your fabric. Iron it very well, because after now you will not be able to iron it again. It's a bubble skirt, and if you iron it, it will relapse. Okay, so you can iron it when you are done. I just like the fullness, that's what I'm saying. Okay, now this is what we have. So I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. I'm going to pleat this down part. Okay, you can make a gather stitch and gather your own, but I just wanted to pleat mine. There's no hard and fast rule, but I feel like the pleated bubble skirts and the gathered one has 2 different looks, but it's not a very significant difference. So go ahead and pleat yours. I'm pleating with 1 inch, just forming my pleats. Let me take this moment and welcome our first timers. If you're seeing this channel for the first time, you're welcome to Perfect Glamour Fashion Academy. Okay, we drop sewing tutorial videos all the time in this channel, so hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you'll be the first to be notified once we post a video. And to my old subscribers, I love you guys. Welcome to class. Okay, now I've folded the fabric to the other side. Now the other side that was open, I'm joining it with ½ inch. Okay, so we'll spend our 1 inch that we left for joining allowance. Okay, all right, so now I'm done joining it with ½ inch, and then the down part with ½ inch, and then I'm turning it over to the front. So this is what we have now. So at this point you can go ahead, and if you're a beginner, you can go and iron out this edge so that it will be easy for you to sew on it without making any mistake. But I'm not going to be ironing it. It's easy for me to work with like this. Okay, so there's a loose end, so I just close it back up, and I'm going to be sewing ½ inch because I'm going to be using a ½ inch rubber elastic, sorry, for my waist. So if you're using a 1 inch elastic, which I advise you use, okay, if you're using a 1 inch elastic, then you're going to sew 1 inch round. For me, I'm sewing ½ inch round because I'm using ½ inch elastic. Do you understand? If you understand to this point, type I understand in the comment section. Let me know that you're following. Okay, I'm using a ½ inch elastic. You're going to see me insert it. So I'm forming a casing for the elastic with ½ inch, but you can do yours with 1 inch or 2 inches depending on the width of your elastic, sorry, the length of your, I don't even know now. Okay, depending on the type of elastic you're using. Okay, so if you're using a 1 inch elastic, you form a 1 inch casing. You come down by 1 inch and sew along. You can also chalk this, especially if you're a beginner. Chalk, mark half inch or 1 inch along this line before you sew, so that it can be straight. So I'm going to cut out my elastic. I used my waist divided by 4. I'm supposed to use my waist divided by 4, but I use my waist divided by 2, so that the skirt can be kind of a low waisted. How is it pronounced now? A low waist, a low waisted. Oh my god! I want it to be a low waist skirt, so, and I can take it up anytime I want. You understand? That's why I use my waist divided by 2 to cut the elastic, so it will be, very very stretchy. And but if you want it to be on your waist, use your waist divided by 4 or your waist divided by 3 to cut the elastic. You get that? Okay, because this 1 inch, half inch elastic used to stretch so much. But if you're using 1 inch elastic, you might do your waist divided by 3 or your waist divided by 2. Or you can just wrap it around your waist. Whatever is left, you just cut it out. Do you understand? And then insert your elastic. Okay. I use them, what is it called, office pin. No, the pin that has casing, I don't even know what it's called again. All right, so I just inserted my elastic into the casing that we made, and I'm going to secure that. Make sure you secure your elastic very well. Double stitch on that line so that it does not loosen. Maybe you're in church dancing and it will now loosen. It will be a disaster. All right, so I'm now going to sew along that open edge. Now be careful as you're doing this. You want it to be as neat as possible, so make sure that it's going to be like 4 fabrics now, the 2 main fabric and the 2 lining. Make sure that they are properly arranged, and you will now sew 1 inch, okay, along that. Especially when you're coming towards the down part, it's going to be a little difficult. Just pull it towards yourself, like pull it together and sew. Make sure that the 2 lengths are matching each other. Let one part not be longer than the other. Neat finishing, that's what we're going for. Okay, once you're done with this, you are done with your bubble skirt. Are you not seeing how easy it is? I'm done with it. This is the skirt, guys. This is huge. Like, it's so big. Okay, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to look so huge on this skirt. I already see it, but let's try this out. Let's see how it's going to come out. I know you must have noticed the cupped corset behind me, okay, as I'm fitting this skirt. This is our corset that we made from our cupped corset masterclass. So if you've not registered for that class, I don't know what you're waiting for. Join the class immediately so that you'll be able to make a corset that is as neat as the one behind me. And it is for every bust size, whether big size, small size. I'm going to teach you how to make a very structured cup for any size that you want. Okay, so I just wanted to put it out there. If you're interested in the class, just comment "I'm interested" in the comment section, and I'll send you the link to join the class. The class is going for just 10,000 naira, and I'll see you in class. In the meantime, look at how my bubble skirt came out. Okay, so if you're a big girly like myself, this is how you can style your bubble skirt. And I'll see you next time. Bye.